Hello everyone. For the unit number 1, Basic of Management Theory and Practices, let us start with the syllabus 1. So this is the syllabus of unit 1, which contain role of information system in organization, the information system manager and his challenges, concept of information system and management strategy, and for the unit number 1 there are 2 case studies. First one is the information system in the Indian Railways and second is the information system in e-commerce organization. So let us start with the syllabus 1. Before starting our IS information system, we have to know the basic terms. That is nothing but firstly data. So before knowing about the information, data is the most important. So for data, it is nothing but a raw collection of facts. Anything which is unprocessed, that can be called as data. Now the second one is the information. So what is information? It is nothing but a processed data. Now when we are going to create any of the information, there is a need of processing the raw material which is available with us. That is nothing but our data. Now next, that is the organization, which is a basic term. So organization is nothing but it is the collection of actors who are engaged in the interaction that serve a common broader goal. Means we want to achieve something and we are having a common goal. Along with that common goal, the number of the number of actors who are engaged to achieve that goal, that is nothing but one organization. For example, we can say as a education organization. So suppose SPPU, that is an education organization, and as an employee, as a student, as a workers who are there, these are collected at one place so as to get engaged in the various activities to achieve the good quality education. That is nothing but our achieving the common broader goal. So that is an organization. Now let us move towards the most important term, that is the definition of our information system. So what do you mean by information system? So it is the collection of computers, network and a complex software that stores, process the data. Also it contains the peoples who create, store, modify and distribute the data and information in any organization. Let us elaborate this term. So when we are going to have an information system, it is nothing but a number of computers. They are connected at one place. So there is a collection of computers and all these computers are connected by a network. So these are connected computers which are having a software installed on it so as to handle any type of a task, and all these can be handled by a person. So there is a important role of the peoples also. And why we are doing all this setup one? So as to collect the data, store the data and processing of that data. That is nothing but a information system one. So that is mentioned here. Now next to that, what are the information system? So let us take one example. So here is the input, here is the output. So as to get output from this input, we have to process on the given data one. So for that purpose, here is the data as a input, we are getting information as a output, but so as to get from this data to information, there is a in between need of the processing one. So these are the some examples which are given. This is the example given by the manufacturing industry. For example, here is a bicycle which is called as a output product one, and for creating this output there is a need to provide some input one. So input is given or considered as a raw material. So here there might be a different bicycle parts which may be in the raw material format. These are going to be processed within the bicycle industry so that we can get a product, final product as a bicycle one. Like the same way here, related to our computer system, when we want to get a information, there is a lots of raw material available with us. That is nothing but our data. This data can be processed with your computer system and it can generate a useful information for us. That is nothing but. Now let us move towards the next. What is MIS? So MIS in the broader term, it can be defined as a right information to the right person at the right place at the right time in the right form and at the right cost. As we are going to see here, information system or the information. So here information is the most important term which can be provided to that of a right person, means whoever needs that information, if we are providing that information to the person, it will be a right person. At the right place means what? According to need, where you have provided that is the most important one. When there is a need, according to that if you have provided, then it is nothing but a right time. In the right form means what? According to the need. Either it may be required in the form of your chart or any another type, soft copy, hard copy. So that is nothing but in the right form you are going to provide. As all this information, few of the time it is necessary to provide it, means what? It has a particular cost. So that is mentioned here. Now here, before starting IS, we have to see what are the differences in between the data and information. So data, already we are knowing that it is a raw material. That means a given fact, whatever will be provided to us, or a factor or a number, we can say as a statement or an image, in any form the data can be. It is nothing but a data one. It represents something either in the quantities, action, or in form of objects which exist in the real world. The raw material in the production of the information, it is used so as to generate the information. So it plays most important role before processing. That's why it is called as the data. And when we are going to process that, automatically it is going to convert into a information. So data that have meaning within a context, within a particular context, they are having their own meanings. One data that has been processed into a form that is meaningful to the recipient and is of a real or perceived value in the current or in the prospective actions or the decisions of the recipient. So they are according to the demand of the those who want to get that data. So data manipulation example we can say as a customer survey. When we are going to collect a large amount of person's view about any of the product or the service, and once they have created according to a rating form, then it is nothing but a information. But before processing that, the collected customers review is nothing but our data, and when we are going to generate something from those collected data, it is nothing but the output one. So reading through data collected from the customer survey with the questions in the various categories, they would be time consuming and not helpful. That means collection of the data from the customer, it is nothing but for us it is a data. But when we are going to manipulate that and we are converting that into a useful information to get the knowledge about that product, it is nothing but a information one. So next is the information. So important term, information is acting as a resource. It is the scarce one. As it is the scarce, that's why it has a particular cost. As information can be used in the number of ways. Also, those persons who are related to all these one, there is an opportunity cost factor involved if one does not process the information. Means we are getting the less cost if it is not processed. If it is valuable for next person, then it can give us a cost factor. So now let us move towards the second term of the IS, that is the system. So system, it can be described as a set of elements joined together for a common objective, like our organization. The number of peoples who are actively engaged so as to get a common goal, to achieve a common goal. Like the same way here system is there, where it has comprised or contains a set of elements which are joined together for getting a common objective. And for this system, it is going to divide into the subsystem. So subsystem, it is a part of larger system with which one is concerned. So let us take example of our organization. For example, we can once again consider education system. So within the education system or the education organization, we can say the large number of subsystem are available. Let us take one example. There is a one college, we can say as a SPPCOE. So SPPCOE, it has 5 different branches. Even though SBPCOE is a system, but 5 branches within which it is going to work, these are nothing but the subsystem. So if there is a computer branch, electrical branch, E&TC, mechanical, civil, all these are nothing but the divisions, or we can say as a departments one. So each of this system is called as the subsystem. So the system concept of MIS is the one of the optimizing the output of the organization by connecting the operation subsystem through the medium of information exchange. So here once again, process the given input, that means data, so as to get the output one. These are nothing but the parts of our system. Let us start with the concept of information system. So MIS, it is basically an idea which is associated with 4M. Which are those 4M? First one is the man, second one is the machine, next is the marketing, and last one is the methods. So here associated with this 4M for collecting the information from the internal and external source and processing this information for the purpose of facilitating the process of decision making of business. Any of the business, it has to make some of the decision, and for making the decision some basic information or the data need to be provided. That is the basic idea which is associated with all this one. Now here MIS is not new. Please remember, MIS is not new, it was conventional one, but only the computerization in that MIS, it is the new one. So before computers, MIS technique, they are existed to supply the managers with the information that would permit them to plan and control business operation. Means before computerization of system, the MIS was exist, but it was the physically. So they are going to help to make the managers for an important decision. Because of use of the computer, what was the change? The computer has added more dimension. Which are those dimensions? Such as the speed, accuracy, increased volume of data that permit the consideration of more alternatives in decision making process. So that is the most important. Due to computerization, we are getting speed, accuracy, and we can store a large amount of data, which was not possible before using the computerization. Now what are the different types of the information system? So information system has different types. According to first type, we are going to see as the use of that information system. So firstly, the individuals, they are going to make use of information system. Also, the information system can be used by the people who are working in the groups, or it can be used for a complete organization. So any one of these, they can make the use of information system. We can make use of information system for these people's one. So these are the three types according to use of that information system. Now most important, major types of the information system. So these are divided into 4 different levels. First one is the ESS, second is the DSS, third is the MIS, and fourth one is the TPS. So let us start one by one. This is the most important chart which need to be remembered. So types of the IS at different level. As already we have seen these 4 types one. According to that, here is the first TPS. So TPS, these are the person, these are the activities which are carried out at the basic level one. So all these are nothing but the operational level system. Means what here? 5 different department we can see here. First one is the sales and marketing, second is the manufacturing, third one is the finance, fourth one is the accounting, and last one is the human resources. Any of the organization, it is going to depend on all these 5 particular operational level departments one. So according to those, they are having their own work, and for each of these department or the subsystem, we can say there is a collectively transaction processing system. Now whatever will be the, as it is a basic level, whatever will be the data, it is collected here, it can be processed, it can be provided to the upper level. What is that upper level? It is the knowledge level system. So knowledge level system means what? The data that we get from the TPS system, it is going to be processed so as to convert that into a useful information one. That's why this data can be converted for a particular use, it is called as the knowledge or information. And when the knowledge is created along with this provided data, it can be provided to the next level. That is nothing but a MIS, means management level. So management level, they are going to make use of this provided knowledge for making the decision one. So there is a decision support system. They can take the decision about various activities, like what is the benefit, what is using that IS system, what are the benefits that I am getting, or what will be my next plan, short term plan, or they can think over the different decisions about that product or the industry related decision one, that is here provided. And once they have made one plan or the whatever will be the decision, it can be given to that of a top level for the strategic level management, that is nothing but a executive support system. So they are going to make their own plan, either a short term or they can set the long term goals also. So these are the 5 different levels which are most important along to your type. First one is the basic operational, that is the TPS. Once it is processed, it can be helpful so as to get a knowledge. Once we are getting the knowledge, it is helpful to that of a management level people for making the decision. And finally these decisions are used so as to plan either a short term or long term by that of a executive support system. So these are the types of IS. Now here the next important point from your curriculum is the functions of IS system. So what are the different functions that one IS system perform? It is firstly as a source information to help the effective decision making by the manager. Manager is responsible for everything. So if he want to or she want to take decision, at that time this information is playing most important role. A contributor to productivity, efficiency and customer satisfaction. When we are getting customer survey, at that time we are collecting those customers review, and we can generate a structure which we can provide a particular view of that customer, rating of that customer about the product, so that we can have a efficiency within the productivity and we can get the customer satisfaction. IS, it is useful to achieve the success in various functions such as the finance operation, marketing, human resource, stores management. As we have seen, 5 various departments are there. So each of these department, they can achieve the success if IS is implemented one. To provide the useful source of information in developing competitive product, our IS is most useful. Why? Because as the lots of products are there in the market, why our product should be best, that we can think by competing with the other products similar type. So for that there is a need of the information about those products which are our competitors one, and if we are getting that information, we can make modification related to same within our product, and that can become as a useful information for development of our product one. Next, information system is a dynamic, challenging career opportunity for the people. So those who are interested to work with this information system, they are, as information is always changing, that means it is a dynamic one. Challenging career opportunity means what? Always it is, as the name suggests, it is the dynamic, means what? There is a always need to identify what is new, what is going on. There might be some technological updation. So it is a challenging career opportunities for the people one. Now what is the most important fundamental role of information system? So information system perform following 3 most important roles one, or the functions one. First is they are always supporting for the business operation. Most important, they are always helpful for making the decision for the managerial level. And last one is they are supporting for the strategic competitive advantage. If we want to achieve something within next 5 years, 10 years, then for making the decision, there is a need to set a goal. And for that goal setting, there is a need of your decision making. And for that decision making, there is a need of your right information. So information system, it plays important role related to all these functions one. Now it is described in detail. So here importance of IS or the MIS, it goes without saying that all managerial functions are performed through decision making. Means nothing can happen without a decision, and if we want to make a decision, there is a need of proper information. If information is wrong, then our decision might get wrong, but if the information is right, then we can have a successful decision one. So for taking the rational decision, timely and reliable information is essential, and it is procured through a logical and well structured method of information collecting. This was processing and disseminating to decision maker that information, it is most important one. So it is generally providing those information to a right person, it is nothing but a MIS one. As in the today's world, we are saying that we must have, or any organization must need, there is a proper information, proper data should be get to that organization. Why? Because they want to grow themselves, and if they want to grow, they must get particular service or the information in the right form one. So they must have their properly planned, analyzed, designed, maintained MIS, so that it can be helping to that of a particular organization. Why? Because they are providing the data within the timely, or they can take the decision within the timely, reliable form, if they are getting the right or useful information. So that information is provided to the management, they can have the speedy or rational decisions one. Here let us see MIS architecture. MIS architecture, as the basic part of that architecture, it has three parts. First one is the input, second one is the process, and last one is the output. Means what? Whenever we want to create any of the information, we want to process that given input data. Now within our MIS, what can be the input one? So transaction processing system data, that means all the data that we have collected from all 5 departments, it can be considered as a raw data, which we are going to convert into a scheduled report along with the processing one. Other internal data, there might be some data which is existing already, that is here. Request for the information. Some of the time the higher authorities, they want to get some information. So at that time they are providing the information request. So as per that information, we have to get here as a raw data, that is nothing but the input one. And when we want to convert those information, or when we want to get those information, then in between processing part is there. For example, we can say here as the MIS system program, they are having the processing information like aggregation, summarization, sorting, all that one. So MIS system data, on this data these operations can be performed, and these operations after performing, they can create a useful information one. The information that we have created, it is in the form of scheduled report, ad hoc report, exception report, feedback to the system operator, or any another type of a reports or the needed information. It can be considered as a output. Here is the same figure, but in the different way displayed. So transaction processing system, from where they are going to get the data, from the business transaction or from the internet one. The availability of the data that we want to collect to that of a TPS system, it can be collected here either from the internet, either from the extranet, all these are given. All this data, it is stored within the database of the valid transaction. And here we can say there is a one more database which is of external data also. Now all this data, it get processed one, it can be get sorted one. Sorted means what? We have put those data according to their place, so that it can easily generate the information for various need. So according to that, this MIS system functional flow is mentioned one. Now here the same thing is explained here. What is the role of your MIS? So here they are managers want to get the reports one. Now basically it is working in the TPS system. Here is the MIS system, and here are the decision makers one. For that one, there might be a related to a product, we can say order file. Here is the production master file, accounting file. So all these are nothing but at the TPS level. All they are going to have their own work system. So order file, they are working related to order processing system. Production master file, they are having the material resource planning system. Means what, they are having their own system which are going to collect all data and provide the data to the for storing in the MIS file one. So suppose there is a order related file, it can be put into a sales data. Suppose there is a production master related file, they can put that in the unit product cost data or the product change data. Then there may be a accounting file which can be filled or put within the expense data, and all these are processed within the MIS one. If manager want to take decision related to sales, then this sales data, it can be processed here, and according to need of manager, they are going to provide the report one. So how this MIS obtain their data from the organization TPS, that is shown here. Now let us move towards the example of MIS. Which are the different examples of our MIS? So sales management system, inventory control system, budgeting system, management report system, and the personal system. These are the examples. Now here report that we have called. Report are nothing but information that we want to get so as to make a decision. So here are the few examples shown for that of a report one. Creates the report, managers they can use to make the routine business decision. Whatever will be the data that is available, we are going to generate the report from that one, and when we want to make use of that report, it is having the variety of types one. Scheduled report, key indicator report, exception report, ad hoc report, and drill down report one. So what are those? We will see one by one. Scheduled report. Scheduled report means what? These are produced periodically or on a schedule. Schedule may be either a daily, weekly, monthly, annually, whatever it may be. So all these are nothing but the schedule on the particular time as per our schedule. They are going to provide the report. Second report is the key indicator report, where they summarizes the previous day's critical activities, and typically they are available at the beginning of each of the given either a month, either a year. As per the demand, they are going to create. Next one is the demand report and exception report. So demand report, it gives certain information at the manager's request. Means whenever there is a, suppose there is a meeting and a manager want to represent some data, so they can demand for a particular report. So that is nothing but on demand that we are going to provide. Next to that, there is an exception report. So automatically produced when a situation is unusual or requires the management action. Somewhat time there is a need to provide the report instantly. That means there is no any pre-plan so as to provide that report one. Next to that, there is a drill down report. So drill down reports, they provide the detailed data about a situation. Means what? They can have first level at the annual. Then someone can demand a detailed report of the month. Then someone can demand for the instead of month, I want the report of week. Then someone can demand instead of week, I want the daytime. Next to that, I can go for the our report also. So that is nothing but a drill down report one. Next to the here, role of the MIS. As we are knowing that MIS is nothing but the management information system. So information is most important. So based on the internal information flow, they are going to help to make the number of structured decisions. As we are knowing that the information is inflexible and they may have a little bit analytical capacity also, and due to their analytical capacity or decision making, they can be used by the lower and middle managerial levels. Also, the IS deals with the past and present rather than that of a future. So it is the most efficiency oriented. We can see here the diagram or the figure of functions of MIS one. It is once again based on the previous diagram, that is the input, output, and the process, means parts of that particular system. So what is their input for our IS? It is nothing but an internal file, internal transaction structured data. What the output we are getting from this system? They can be a summary report, action report, the detailed report one. And how we are going to get that? By a process of sorting, merging and summarizing. Till this, whatever the points that we have covered, here is the summary for all those one. Firstly, the actual MIS processes. What do you mean by exactly? It is nothing but a collection, organization, distribution, storage of wide information, manageable control and analysis of data. Means what? It is all over around that of a data. So there is, according to our IS definition, there is a collection of the computers who are connected by that of a network, and somewhat softwares are installed on that computers which are connected by a network. The peoples are going to handle all those one. And why this setup is needed? So as to collect the data, so as to process the data, we want to store the data, and as well as according to their demand we want to distribute that data. So here is the related to that IS summary. Is the MIS exactly focuses on organization wide information. It is helping for decision making process. They are helpful for managerial control and analysis, and mainly most important, it is a computer based system. Okay, now this is the point number 1 from the unit number 1, all about the basic concepts of your MIS. In the next point we are going to cover the point number 2, role of IS in the organization. So let us stop here.